It's your boy Online Davo, and we back with another video. Look, we got a video about XO Speaks. Black people have a victim mentality? Let's get into this video and let's see what bro talking about. Come on.
How long are we going to have this never-ending victim complex? At what point in time does it actually start becoming your fault for your own failures?
Right.
Or are you going to sit there blaming some straight white man from the early 1900s for the rest of your life?
My God,
okay.
You spoke what needed to be said. You're speaking facts. Amen, sister.
See, I forgot. Only the white man can be called out. Not the black folk.
What?
Can't never call them out. Always the victims, never the aggressor.
Called out how? I mean, how aren't black people called out? We're called out every day. Every day someone's complaining about a black person not doing enough, not having this, leeching off of that, 1350. Every day is something. Like, what you mean? We get complained about the most, and we don't even be doing nothing for real. That shit crazy.
Accountability equals kryptonite. Black people have a victim mentality. I keep seeing that same phrase pop up over and over again whenever I'm on social media. And every time I see that, it already tells me a lot about the person that's saying it. Not because criticism isn't allowed, but because the people that are using that phrase usually aren't trying to understand anything. They're just repeating something that they heard and like the sound of. It's just like the 1350 argument. But when you really listen to how people use that phrase, they never really explain what they mean by it. It's just, y'all are always playing the victim card. Just work harder. Y'all blame everything on racism. And it made me realize something. Most people that use that phrase don't know what accountability is, and they don't know what history is either. It's just something that they're tired of hearing us talk about. When they
Someone told them one day that black people complain, and then they somehow found their way either looking at a conversation or viewing a conversation between a black person in which they was talking about the struggles that have gone on in this country for black people, and then they have viewed it as complaining, when it's reality. It's reality, bro. Victim mindset. We got the victim mindset, but y'all blame all of your shortcomings on everyone else. Oh, the reason why all the jobs are took because of immigrants. Maybe you just weren't qualified. Work harder. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, all that little shit that don't sound so good now, huh? Because like, no, there's other stuff that goes into it. But when that's the thing, right? When it comes to black people, there's no such thing as nuance. All right, it's cut and dry. This, that, good, bad. But when it's everybody else, niggas gotta start taking a look back. They gotta start analyzing the historical context of situations and how it carries over to the next generation. They love bringing out the glasses, but when it comes to black people, it's, hey, nigga, pull yourself up, all right? Hey, get good. Skill issue. It's crazy.
say that black people have a victim mentality, what they're really saying is, I don't want to hear you complain about systems anymore. They're not necessarily saying that the suffering we go through isn't real, even though some people will try to argue that point too. But what they are saying is that they're uncomfortable acknowledging it. It's uncomfortable for them to admit that some people start the race much further back. And it's especially uncomfortable for them to admit that some of the advantages that people enjoy were not earned. They were inherited. Because notice how that phrase gets used when we talk about things that are documented.
Cause that's gonna they're gonna have to look themselves in the mirror and be like, damn, was I privileged in this way? My thing is this, right? I view myself as privileged in a lot of aspects of life. You know, I got my limbs work, my body work, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff, you know, I can see, I have a vehicle, I got a job, all that, right? But there's other ways that there is a system that's suppressing people that look just like me. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I may be privileged in another way, as in I have a car and you don't. Some could say that's not a privilege. The point is, just because we have other luxuries in life, that don't mean there isn't better. You get what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that we just let the government off the hook for what they did. Victim mentality, no, we're just making sure y'all niggas and these niggas at these politicians don't forget what they did. That's why we hold them accountable, right? So we can't make sure that they pay for what they did to us, to my people, but we just gotta act like nothing happened, right? When we hold them accountable, we playing the victim card. Okay.
like redlining, mass incarceration, police brutality, education gaps. The list goes on and on. Nobody calls it a victim mentality when other races do it. When they do it, it's advocacy, it's awareness, it's fighting for your people. But when we do it, suddenly it's, oh, y'all are just making excuses. One of the many things that a lot of racist people don't understand is that acknowledging context is not the same as avoiding accountability. And a lot of times you'll notice they'll say that when it's convenient for them.
They're just becoming too much trouble.
Right.
They bring these problems. We can't solve them. We can't hold them accountable. They blame us. They don't even like us. They blame the government. They blame history. They blame our ancestors.
Black people have always been held accountable. Historically, we've been held to a much higher standard. We've gotten more punishment, less grace, and much less room for error. So the idea that we're somehow allergic to accountability.
Bro, that's so crazy, huh? That's so crazy. We're allergic to accountability. We've been getting held accountable since the beginning of time, bro. For shit that we don't even do. You know what I'm saying? All the times that a black man that got blamed for a white man's crime, and niggas just believed it because why not? Because, hey, another reason to hang them. Then, meet my quota for the week. It get like that. You feel me? So it's like, you talking about getting held accountable, man. We get held to the highest standard of everyone. All right? They expect the worst from us while also expecting the best from us. Ain't that some shit, huh? Are we the stepchilds of society or not, my nigga? Are y'all gonna ignore us and let us do our thing? Or is it gonna keep on looking at us with a microscope to make sure we keep on fucking up, but only we fuck up in a way that benefit y'all? You can't fuck up in other ways, but only in ways that make y'all feel good. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Accountability doesn't even line up with reality. Black people hold each other accountable all the time. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Black people constantly call out bad behavior through social media, barbershop talks.
Charleston White, though.
Black people constantly...
Okay. I mean, yeah, he be saying some shit, but he also be saying some other shit. He be talking crazy.
We call out bad behavior through social media, barbershop talks, podcasts, and within our own families and communities. There are black folks that dedicate their lives to stopping violence and crime within our community. And all it takes is one quick search on any social media platform, and you can find videos of black people condemning and calling other black people out for bad behavior. Two things can be true at the same time. We can hold ourselves accountable, and we can also talk about the environment that we're operating in. But a lot of people want to act like history just stopped mattering at some random point. Like we...
You know what the thing is too? They always complaining about, all I see is black people on my feed saying this, that, and the third. Ask yourself, how did my feed become the way it is? Why is my timeline showing me this? Okay, so if all you see is black people complaining, but we also know there's another subset of black people that hold black people accountable in respectful and productive ways, but you're not seeing that, that's on you. Just because you don't see it, don't mean it's not happening. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that happen behind closed doors, but they gotta see what we doing and approve of what we doing. All right, let me make sure y'all hold each other accountable. All right. It's so weird, bro. It's so weird.
All woke up one day on equal ground, equal opportunity, equal resources, and equal treatment. That's not reality. And pointing that out does not make you lack accountability. That makes you honest. Because make no mistake, if they had it their way, they would completely erase all of our history and prevent us from ever speaking about it again. And you know I'm telling the truth because we're seeing a lot of that now.
Reverend Brown is to have 2 artifacts he loaned to the Smithsonian's National Museum of African American History and Culture returned in just a few days. The return of his items comes after President Trump issued an executive order in late March targeting the Smithsonian Institution, saying in part, in recent years, it's come under the influence of divisive race-centered ideology.
Another reason...
What? Like the country? Like the whole country is built off of race? You know what I'm saying? Or one class of people will be worse than another, like less than someone else? Like this whole country? Like, come on, man. That's crazy. They really be trying to get us up out of here. You know, it happened a while back, but it didn't happen so long ago to where it's like ancient time or some shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's people alive that know people that, you feel me? They done heard stories firsthand that's alive right now. You get me? So it's like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. They would have you believe that it was so long ago, but it's like, bro, it's a few generations ago. as you can see, our standing within society is still not as strong as it should be for people that's supposed to be considered equal.
The reason this gets thrown at us is because people only see black success stories. They'll see a few black people that made it and say, see, if they can do it, you can do it too. But what they're ignoring is survivorship bias.
Yeah.
They're focusing on exceptions while pretending the system didn't filter out thousands of other black people along the way.
I learned today, if it is a name that does not sound white, we are to move it to the completed task.
That's crazy.
We then note your application as moved due to name standards.
And when you think about
Name
it, that
standards is crazy. Damn, niggas really be getting discriminated against because of their name, bro. Wow. I'm telling you, man. Don't stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Please. Stop drinking. Don't mean go around, start causing havoc and doing all this other crazy shit. Don't start doing that. I'm just saying. Just stop drinking the Kool-Aid and just see it for what it is. The same way we see other countries is how we should be seeing our country, man. That's all I'm saying.
argument doesn't even make sense. They love pointing at people like,
Just like how you hear a story on the news about, oh, some shit happened in Cuba, some shit happened in Russia. You like, damn, them niggas over there tripping. Yeah, that's how they looking at us over here.
Michael B. Jordan, Denzel Washington, LeBron James. Those positions represent a tiny fraction of people. We're talking about the top 1%. And it's not even a black thing. If you look at any other race, 99% of y'all are not in those positions either. Realistically, everybody that's watching this video right now is not in that position, me included. So I genuinely do not understand how people use that as a real logical argument. It doesn't make any sense. And then there's the part that nobody likes to talk about. When we speak about injustice, it makes people question their own personal position. It forces them to ask whether the system that they benefit from is actually fair. And calling us victims is just a way to shut that conversation down before things get too uncomfortable for them. So the phrase victim mentality is not about our mindset. It's about protecting theirs. It's a
you gotta think, right? It's kind of like telling someone, yo, you're privileged. You get what I'm saying? And if they never had that, if they never thought about it before you had that conversation with them, they're gonna be like, what? I ain't privileged? Like, what you talking about? I'll go through the same shit you go through, all the other shit. But it's like, nah, you gotta take a step back and be like, in the grand scheme of things, I'm pretty privileged. And then you gotta factor in your race aspect of it. You know? So, like I said, it comes down to this history. And like, I think what it is that people will read about history, but they won't really put it into context of imagine yourself back in the 1950s. Imagine yourself in the 1920s. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it could seem like man, that was hell long ago. Like that shit, whatever. But if you really sit back and be like, yo, that could have been you. In some alternate world, nigga, that could have been you out there getting hosed down, bit by dogs and shit. So you better be thankful you're born in this timeline, nigga. Straight up. You better respect those ancestors.
defense mechanism, and it's a way for them to avoid accountability without actually having to say, I don't want to talk about this because it makes me uncomfortable. And that's why that phrase gets thrown around so loosely, because once you label somebody as having a victim mentality, then you don't have to deal with them anymore. Another thing that people don't understand is a lot of what they call victim mentality is really just survival awareness. And I already know what some of y'all are thinking. No, it's not the same survival awareness that y'all like to throw around to avoid coming in contact with black people. Ours actually makes sense. Y'all will say that y'all don't like being around us because our neighborhoods are dangerous or ghetto. But you're complaining about a problem that your people created. You do know that your government created the ghetto. I don't know if y'all ready for that conversation yet. But anyways.
What conversation you talking about, Speaks? What you talking about, XO, man? What you talking about, man? Let me know something, bro. Nah, he ain't, but the thing is, it's like they will put us in certain boxes and situations and then get mad that we're in those boxes, in those situations. You feel me? We'll be put in poverty and, you know, we'll be confined to certain areas. Our infrastructure will be tampered with. Motherfuckers will build bridges through neighborhoods. So much crazy shit, right? And then they get mad at us because our community looks like fucking, like, it looks crazy compared to theirs. When it's like, bro, y'all was left to do what y'all wanted to do. We had never been left alone, bro. When have we have been left alone? Even when talking about the people that's in poverty and stuff like that, they're still in their business. You get what I'm saying? So it's like they're infatuated, bro. They're infatuated. You know what I'm saying? They always want to keep an eye on what we doing. You know what I'm saying? They got some type of weird dynamic. I don't know what it is, to be honest. It's weird. It's pretty weird.
When you're aware of patterns, you move differently. But people who have never had to think like that will always misinterpret awareness as negativity. This is usually where the conversation always goes. Well, if black people just work harder, then we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Right.
But the funny thing is, we do work hard. We always have worked hard. In fact, the
Right.
reason why we're here today is because of the hard work that we've had to put in. Now, are there some black people that are lazy as hell? Of course. I'm not saying that that doesn't exist.
Right.
And you purposely being a lazy individual is not the system's fault. So I'm not saying that either. But majority of us are not like that. And
That should be crazy because it's kind of like, it's like when a black person don't got no job, or he just stuck, or he or she just stuck in a room, you know, not coming outside. They consider lazy, bums, Let it be someone else. They're just depressed. They just have so much mental turmoil going on. They're just, the anxiety has got to. It's like, damn, you don't think black people could go through mental shit too? But you see, the thing is, bro, it's always gonna be a double standard, man. It's always gonna be a double standard. The whole system, how they made the system, is to where no matter what we do, we're gonna be demonized for it. You know what I'm saying? If we do right, it's a one-off thing. You're one of the good ones. If we do what they expect us to do or what they stereotype us to do, it's a told you so. So you might as well do whatever you want, bruh. I ain't gonna lie. Fuck it. If y'all gonna hate us, they might as well hate you while you love yourself, man. Straight up.
based on factual data, the stereotype of us being lazy is just not true. Because if it was up to them, we wouldn't even exist. And when I say that, I'm not being dramatic at all. There have been multiple attempts to completely erase our existence.
Hey.
But that's a conversation for another video.
Stop
Crazy.
using race and gender as an excuse for why you're not successful. You're not successful because you're lazy, you don't have the right information, and you don't have the right strategy to be successful.
Right.
Stop blaming the system for you not changing. So as a clinical psychologist, I get to hear every excuse in the book for people not changing. And one of the most common ones that I hear is that the system is unjust and that the forces of capitalism, racism, sexism, and systemic oppression are so great that it's not even worth trying.
I want to be...
Nigga, what? Hold on.
Oppression are so great that it's not even worth trying.
So he said. So in the beginning, he said, "Stop blaming the system for you not changing." So you're pretty much saying we should fit into a system that has racism, sexism, capitalism, systemic oppression. You think we should just assimilate to that system, like participate, code switch into that system permanently? It's like, damn, that shit crazy. These niggas, bro. He talking about he a clinical psychologist. Oh my gosh. Whoever his patients are, bro, y'all are cooked.
I want to be very clear. I 100% believe in working hard and working smart. And a solution to this problem is...
Bro, we know you do. That's the thing, right? Why the fuck do we gotta make it clear that we like working hard? I just want to make it clear, y'all. I love to work hard, man. I just love working. I love to have a job. I just love that shit. Nigga, I'm an adult. You should assume that. You should assume I want a job. You should assume I like working hard. Don't be like, oh, this person, this race. So most likely, like, what? Come on, bruh.
not throwing your hands up and giving up, because at the end of the day, there is still a lot that you can do to fight back against it. Of course, the system does have an effect on us, sometimes in ways that we can't even see. You gotta know how to play the game and how to win in life as a black man or a black woman. Is it gonna be more difficult for us than it would be for other races? Yes, but it is not impossible. Hard work was never the issue. The issue is how that hard work is recognized, rewarded, and blocked. You can be the hardest working person at your job, most qualified, the smartest, really the best overall employee. But if your boss already decided in his mind that you're not getting that raise because he's gonna slide it to Karen because he's sleeping with her on the low, then guess
caught his ass too. Look at him. Breaking up a happy home, man. Hey, look, no discipline.
you're not getting that raise because he's gonna slide
No discipline.
it to Karen because he's sleeping with her on the low, then guess what? You're not getting that raise no matter how hard you work due to unfair circumstances that really have nothing to do with you at all. Your performance was great, but apparently hers was a little bit better. You can't tell people
She was willing to take it to that next level. You feel me? She was willing to really show her appreciation for the company and its profits. You get what I'm saying? Hey, man.
to run the same race while pretending like the track hasn't been altered in some way. Another reason why this whole victim mentality argument falls apart is because a lot of black people are actually being harmed in real ways and they don't even realize it. And I'm not talking about feelings. I'm talking about decisions that get made around us, without us, that directly affect our health and our quality of life. For example, look how often dangerous infrastructure gets placed in predominantly black neighborhoods. Data centers, industrial facilities, waste-related sites, things that most people—
Come on, man. What I just say? They be trying to, bro. They be trying to get us gone. That's crazy. That's so crazy. That let you know, man. That let you know that hey, man. We a tough bunch. We a tough cookie, man. Tough cookie to crack. You gonna have to do it one by one, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta do it one by one. Cause I ain't going out like that. Hell nah.
would never want near their homes or around their neighborhoods ever, but somehow it's always getting placed in their black communities. And when people hear data centers, they think tech jobs or they think progress. But what they don't think about is the constant noise, massive energy use, water strain, and long-term environmental impact on the people that live nearby. And it's the same
Shit, probably higher electricity bills. You get what I'm saying? The water fucked up. Kids getting sicker, more doctor visits, more time out of school, less time to focus on his education. He can't focus on his education, his environment. Come on, man. And then they complain when that same child is resorting to stealing and crime and all that when they get older. Just get a job. Bro, they haven't had a chance to even fucking have a fair chance at school. You talking about go get a job? Like, come on, man. It's like, this is crazy. It's so crazy.
thing with certain transportation hubs. There have been Amtrak stations and rail corridors that have been known to give off harmful emissions and toxic chemicals in the air. And yet again, these things are not being built in wealthy—
And do you know what's crazy too? Say someone do get some money. They'll move out of that area that got all that type of crazy stuff going on. They'll move to a predominantly white area, but really that area just happens to be in a nicer part of town. And white people just happen to live there. And then they'll go around being like, oh, black people don't want to stay around other black people. It's like, no, nigga, I don't want to stay around a fucking power plant in a data center that got me sick every 6 days. That's not why I moved over here. I ain't trying to move over here to assimilate with y'all, nigga. I'm trying to live somewhere I could breathe fresh air. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy. But then that feeds the propaganda. There's going to be someone thinking like, oh, yeah, he did move over there with the white people in that area. So black people definitely is running away to good black people. It's so dumb, bro. It's so dumb.
or predominantly white neighborhoods. They're being placed in areas where resistance is expected to be low and people's voices are easier to ignore. And that is not accidental. But because a lot of this stuff doesn't always show up immediately, a lot of us don't connect the dots right away. But how could you? We just see higher asthma rates, more health problems, and lower property values. And nobody ever explains why. Why do you think black people experience the most health problems out of every other race? So when we talk about systems, this is what we mean. Real decisions that impact real people every single day. And if you don't even know that you're being affected, then you can't even push back against it. And that's exactly how this stuff keeps happening quietly, with no headlines and with no outrage. And a great example of this is Periodigo.
In the 1950s and 60s, in secret, the U.S. Army sprayed zinc cadmium sulfide into the air of a St. Louis housing project, a largely black neighborhood called Pruitt-Igoe.
1950s.
It was a lose-lose situation for us in Pruitt-Igoe. We were subjects. We were subjects.
They didn't ask for our permission. We didn't.
They used to try to use us as fucking guinea pigs, bro. Human guinea pigs. Damn.
Asked for them to spray us. My government used me like I was a guinea pig.
Lost my
Exactly,
two older
bro.
siblings to cancer. I lost a brother last month.
I've been diagnosed recently with a rare form of lymphoma.
I had cancer of the left kidney, had partial removal of my left kidney.
So no,
Jesus
a lot of the
Christ.
times we're not playing victim. We're living in conditions that were set up long before we had any say in them. If you can
But he playing the victim card though, right? Just a victim mentality. While he getting his whole project sprayed down with random chemicals that niggas in Archer would use. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You got the U.S. Army treating them as guinea pigs, but they just playing the victim cards, right? They just work harder, pull yourself up, just move out of there. Just move, bro. Just move. Go live in the other area. Telling you, man. Fools. Idiots.
successfully convince black people that talking about systems makes them weak, that's when they stop talking about systems. If you can convince everyone else that we're just playing victim, then nobody has to take our concerns seriously. So do black people have a victim mentality? Absolutely not. We have historical memory, pattern recognition, and lived experience. And calling that a victim mentality is just a way to avoid dealing with the uncomfortable.
Hey, shout out Exo Speaks, you did your thing. He ain't lying, bro. Black people, we gotta stay aware of everything, bro. Because everything affects us. When you're viewed as the lowest on the totem pole, your grievances aren't taken very serious. So if it affects a group on the higher scale, it's definitely gonna affect you. You get what I'm saying? Because it's all gonna trickle down, especially in this society. If the billionaire's hurting, you're gonna hurt too. You know what I'm saying? The hey, so the thing is, bro, when there's a system in place that is trying to make your pathway to a better life harder, you just gotta find a way to learn about it, to understand it, and also navigate it without losing yourself. You feel me? Because just like every other race and ethnicity can proudly be themselves, can proudly celebrate themselves, you can celebrate being black too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just because you black don't mean you gotta mentally cap yourself in a particular area or a particular job title or whatever like that. Your mind is endless. You get what I'm saying? The only difference you have between that person is your skin color. So with that, victim mentality does not exist here. If anything, we were victims of a lot of things that has been going on, and for you to ignore that or try to ignore it, quite frankly, you're just an idiot. So it is what it is. I'm gone. Learn some history. Peace.